銀河鉄道39
All right, let's start Chapter 3 of Volume 8 of Galaxy Express 39. We'll see what the title is on the next page. As usual, we see the train here moving through space and our opening paragraph. Let's see what we've got. 工事に湧く精進環境して風前をなすいたらずらいたらざるところなしと Okay. According to old people, or according to ancient people, that's more like people of ancient times. According to those people, that's a very weird looking hito. Small people kankyo. What is this? Shojin? Shojin. Narrow-minded. A small person, a child, or narrow-minded person. Kankyo. Kankyo. Which is quiet, secluded life. Doing Fuzen is like not good. It's evil. Yeah. Fuzen. Nasu. Okay, so according to old people of old times or whatever, small people or narrow-minded people, like living in seclusion, becomes evil or mischief. Itarazaru tokoro nashito. Itara. I'm not sure. It's this itaru. In a place. Itarazaru. All right, I'm going to have to look this up on our second source. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Why is it doing that? All right, you know what? Hide. Itarazuru, mischievous. Tokoro nashito. Itazuru. Itarazaru. It would help if I got the right word. Itarazaru tokoro. Not achieving place, doing. A place we're not achieving. Okay, something like that. We'll just keep moving on and see what the rest of this is about. Hito wa minna. Oh no. 退屈も動が過ぎると人はみんなおかしくならない方がどうかしてるのだという人もいる。Okay. 退屈。Oh yeah, even boredom, the degree of boredom being too much. As for people where like the degree of boredom is too much, everyone strangely not becoming direction, somehow doing, people also say that. Okay. So this leads to evil, and people also say that, I guess, doing whatever, it's strange, but people that do too much of boredom, I guess it becomes that way too. Yeah, it becomes strange. People that do too much boredom also become strange in that direction somehow. Somehow that happens also. People say that. Okay. 宇宙の海には as for in the sea of space, その退屈が山ほどあるのだ. Okay, now this is starting to make sense. As for in the sea, the ocean of space, that boredom, mountain amounts of it exists. Mountainous amounts of boredom exists in that ocean of space. And this, with this last phrase of, it's, people say that it's, again, becoming the direction of strangeness due to too much boredom. Okay, well, interesting. All right, here's our splash page. And what do we have here for chapter 3? Shirokuju no Hanaran, the rebellion of C62, which is presumably the name of a star or something. And Hanaran should just be rebellion, insurrection, mutiny. Yeah. Okay. We get boom, 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 boom. Ah. We don't normally get that much sound out of the train. It's usually just one long bow. Anyway, we have Meitoru and Tetsuro down here. Tetsuro is looking bored. Mezurashiku kemuri o dashite hashiru to omotta ra, kikansha no yousu ga skoshi okashii yo. Okay, it's not, he's not bored. He's noting what I just noted, which is it's rare when thinking about running and putting out smoke, the engine's appearance, the engine car's appearance is a little bit strange. Yeah, when thinking about the dashite hashiru. I'm not sure. Dashite hashiru. When thinking about the putting out and running of the smoke, it's rare. The appearance of the engine car is a little bit strange. I think he's noting that something about the way the smoke, and again, that sound, it's a bit rare and strange, something going on. Anyway, what is Meitoru saying? Sansokiryu no naka desu mono ne. It's the thing about being in a sansokiryu, an oxygen airflow? Sanso, yeah, oxygen. Kiryu is just going to be like, yeah, like airflow or spirit flow. Yeah, airflow. Okay. So yeah, it's because we're inside an oxygen airflow. Sanso ga oosugite, buhin ga sanka shite, sabi demo detta no kashira. The oxygen being too much, parts, like sections, are like oxidizing and rusting and coming off, I wonder? The oxygen being too much, buhin is just, again, like parts. Yeah, parts, components, and sanka, again, is going to be to oxidize. Yep, oxidation doing. And even rust is coming off, I wonder. Okay, interesting. I wouldn't have thought that the Galaxy Express 39 was actually made of iron, but shh. Okay, that's usually the sound it makes when it like stops, and it looks kind of like it stopped. Ensto shichatta yo. Ensto. Engine stall. Ensto shichatta yo, Meitoru. The engine stalled, Meitoru. Moshiwake shingo machi desu. There's no excuse for it, or sorry. It's waiting for a signal. A shingo is like a traffic signal. Shingo, waiting, it is. Zenho de jikko ga atta rashii no desu. I guess like up ahead, an accident has occurred, or so it seems. That's why. Shingo machi, waiting for a signal. I guess that's zempo. Yeah, forward. Zempo. So up ahead, up forward, an accident has occurred, so it seems. That's why. Shingo machi. Oops. Try lightning now. Hora, are ga shingo ki desu yo. Oh my, or check it out. That thing is the signal machine. The traffic signal machine. Oh, okay, so he's pointing out. He's like pulling him away. Mada o akete mo daijoubu yo. Even opening the window, it's fine, you know? Kukan barrier mo arushi. An air atmosphere barrier also exists. We're getting kind of old information, but again, maybe at this point it needs re-explaining in case people are reading the series halfway through or something. Koko wa sanso kiryo tai no naka dakara. As for this place, oxygen airflow belt inside of, and that's why. Now that's interesting because in the past they could open up the windows wherever, but now she's saying, well, we're in an oxygen belt, so it's okay. She is saying she here, which means like there's multiple reasons. We have the barrier and we're in an oxygen stream. Okay, so she's not saying it's just because of the oxygen. Aka ni natte ra. Huh? It's become red. It's becoming red. Now, interesting. I noticed this in the previous chapter, or maybe the last two. Tetsuro now seems to be talking with this Tera sort of way. I don't think he did that before. I think that's a little bit newer. Oh boy. Kono sanso tai wa. So as for this oxygen belt or band, Ginga kei kara mite yaya Andromeda yori no tokoro o nagareru hobo 10万キロに及び正体不明の気流ですよ. Okay. So as for this oxygen belt, the Milky Way, from the Milky Way galaxy looking, it's approximately from Andromeda's place, flowing about 100,000 kilometers oyobu. To reach. Or maybe he's saying like a comparison. It reaches or it compares to about approximately 100,000 kilometers flowing to a place from Andromeda. Yeah, okay. Shotai Fume. It's a like true form, unknown airflow. It's an airflow of like unknown true form. Jiko no genin wa nani? As for the source of the accident, what is it? それが 報告が来ませんで that report hasn't come. So I haven't gotten a report on that. どうなっているのかさっぱり How has it become? Or like what has happened? I have no clue. さっぱりわからない。銀河鉄道の管理局はこういう場合、速やかに連絡してくるでしょう。Okay, so as for the administration office of the Galaxy Railway, in cases like this, 速やかに smoothly, speedily, promptly, communication comes, doesn't it? So she's saying normally you get a speedy communication from the administration office, don't you? あは、それがもう一度機関車へ行って確かめてきます。Okay, so well, indeed, or kind of exasperation, that one more time to the engine car will go and confirm and come back. この事故は少し変だわ。As for this accident, it's a little strange, you know? Hen? Strange? It's like, あれが青になれば動くんだろう。That thing, I guess, when it becomes blue or when it becomes green, it's moving, right? So we'll move when that thing becomes green, right? We could go into why owl, but owl is blue or green. あへや、一向に青にならないや。もう2時間経った。Okay, ugh. 一向に。Not at all. Not at all becoming blue or green. Already 2 hours have passed. Suya. He's yawning. There's the train sitting and waiting. Dosa. Good. What are these? Uchu Daijiten. The like space dictionary. Or I guess in this case, encyclopedia. It's like the big encyclopedia. And he's covered in them. なんだいこのクラシックな本は What is it? As for these classical books, I guess are classic books. I think he means that in the sense of like physical books instead of like old books. 図書館社から持ってきました。Okay. The library car from there brought them. I brought them from the library car. なんで読みたくもない七難しい。七難しい。Oh. そうない。七難しい本ばっかりだけど。Okay. So like why? 読みたくも。Even if wanting to read. No. 読みたくないもない。読みたくもない。読みたくのない。七難しい. He's saying they're difficult to read. shichi, muzukashii hon bakari. They're just nothing but difficult shichi books, even if I guess I wanted to read them. But he's saying like wanting to read them doesn't exist. So he doesn't want to read them, and they're just shichi muzukashi. I'm curious what shichi here would mean. Just it's difficult. Okay, I don't know. Shichi muzukashi. Meiteru sama ga kore kurai iru daro te. So Lady Meiteru, this extent existing, probably said, kore kurai, like this is good. Meiteru had said this. Kore o zenbu yomu aida kurai tomatte iru te koto ka? Okay. All parts koreo zenbu. This thing, all parts reading like period extent stopping, it's that event. So does this mean that we're going to be stopped so long that I can read all of these? Taikutsu hodo iya na koto wa arimasen kara ne. The extent of boredom. Hodo iya na koto. As for it not being a bad thing, with the extent of the boredom, it does not exist. Iya na koto wa. I guess, yeah, again, with the extent of the boredom, as for a disagreeable thing, it does not exist. That's why. Okay. Meiteru-sama wa ima kikansha no naka desu. As for Lady Meiteru, right now, she's inside the engine car. Boku mo itte miyou. I also will like go and look. Asoko wa omoshirokute taikutsu shinai kara ne. As for that place, it's interesting and I won't be bored. Boredom will not do. That's why. Yamete kudasai. Oh, no, please stop. Meiteru-sama wa dare mo hairu na to. As for Lady Meiteru, nobody entering said. She said, nobody's able to enter. I get so still, you think the stream froze. Could be. Okay. そりゃないだ、そりゃないだろう。メートルも10曲なら、僕も10曲なら、僕も10曲だ。退屈してるんだからさ。Okay. そりゃないだろう。As for that, it does not exist, right? Even Meiteru, if she's a passenger, I also am a passenger. Boredom doing, and that's why. I'm bored. That's why. それともメートルはただの乗客じゃないとでも Or, as for Meitoru, just a passenger isn't. Maybe she just isn't. Maybe she isn't a normal passenger, an average passenger. Okay. There we go. There's the train again. Oh. Oh, C62 is the, is that always on the front? I should have picked up on that sooner. Okay. そうだ。そうだ。メートルよ。Indeed, you know, メートル。これは一種のテストなのだ。As for this, it's a type of test. Okay, it's not clear who's talking. Normally, if it's the computer talking, it's all in katakana, but this voice appears to be talking to Meiteru. あいつらにとっても我々にとってもテストなのだ。To those people, to those guys, very much. To us, very much, it is a test. そうですか? I see. Or indeed, is that so? でも、この機関車のコンピューター頭脳は however, as for the brain, the computer brain of this engine car, okay, this appears to be the voice. Like when we're seeing her from behind, we're getting, I guess, this voice. 機関車は中立だ. As for the engine car, it is 中立. It is neutral. It's neutrality. The engine car is neutral. 心配はいらないメートル. As for worry, it's not necessary, meiteru. No need to worry. Okay, so we got something about a test, and it's important to them as well as to us. And she's trying to say something about the computer brain of the car, and the voice says, no need to worry, the engine car is neutral. All right? Okay, this is now the engine car, and we see the katakana. So, はい。私はただ銀河鉄道の規則にのっとり走るだけです. So the computer is saying, yes, as for me, just the Galaxy Railways regulations, on those am nottari and running, it's just that, だけです. Nottori. Taking over. No, kisoku ni nottori hashiru. Just taking over, just hijacking and running the rules and regulations of the Galaxy Railway. Huh. Interesting. 他のことに関心はありません. To other things, 関心, concern does not exist. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, he's saying like, yeah, the computer is saying yes. As for me, again, only like hijacking and running the rules and regulations of the Galaxy Railway. As to other things, concern does not exist. Okay. Anyway. Tada ただこのテストを鉄路には気づかれてはならない. Oh, interesting. So it's just that this test, as for Tetsuro, I guess like he must not be aware of it. 気づかれ. As for worrying Tetsuro with this test, will not become. So like, don't do that. Don't bother him with this test. Tetsuro ni wa ki no doku da ga. As for Tetsuro, it's unfortunate, but kizukarete wa subete oshimai da. So as for Tetsuro, it's unfortunate, but I guess like as for worrying, everything is over. Kitsukarete. Okay, no. That's not mental fatigue. It's to notice. So, kitsukarete wa naranai. He must not become aware. It's unfortunate, but if he does become aware, then everything is over. Subete oshimai da. Okay. Wakattemasu. I understand. All right, so some weird sort of test for Tetsuro. And that's all kind of weird in and of itself. Nani o buppu hitorigoto itteru ndai, meiteru? So, what are you mumbling about, boo boo, alone and saying, meiteru? Dot. まるで誰か別の人と話してるように、ようにも聞こえたな。It's as if some other person with some other person talking like that, it was audible. It was as though I heard you talking with someone else. コンピューター頭脳に事故の様子を聞いていたのよ。With the computer brain, the accident's appearance, listening or asking. I was asking about the manner of the accident with the computer brain. So that's right. 私はメートル様にお答えしてたのです。I have a lot harder time reading this in katakana. So that's right. As for me, with or to Lady Meitoru, お答えしお答えしていたのです。replying. 答えて, yeah, so I was answering, replying to Lady Meitoru. のです。そうです。That's right. まるでコンピューターが言い訳してるみたいだ。And so Tetsuro's kind of like, It's as if the computer, a good excuse seems to be doing. It's almost as if the computer's making a good excuse. 動くていた。いつを動くていた。So when moving, I guess, like said. When did it say we'd move? それがおかしいの。全然わからないんだって。That's strange. That's strange, or that thing is strange about when we're going to move again. Completely not knowing is what it said. Okay, so they went back to the passenger car. 信号は相変わらず赤のままだな. As for the traffic signal, as always, it's red as it's been, isn't it? もう4時間も経つよ. Already 4 hours waiting or have passed. Motatsu. Yeah. Now already not making progress for 4 hours. そうね, indeed. この列車にはもう少し面白い本はないのかな? As for in this train, even a little bit more interesting books, do they not exist, I wonder? Are there no more books in this train that are a bit more interesting? この本の山を見てると when looking at this mountain of books, he falls asleep. Aw. Hopefully this isn't part of the test. Okay, so he's sleeping there, and then we get a gakun, which is like ka-chunk. このショックは this, as for this push, or sorry, as for this shock. As for this shock. Gong. Uh-oh. Zoo, 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 zoo. どうしたんだい、メーテル? What's wrong? What's happening, メーテル? How is it? Whoa. Hora. See? Ah! 機関車だけが It's just the engine car? 僕ら置いて一人で行っちゃったじゃないか. Leaving us alone and went, didn't it? So it just went. It just went and left us alone. 大変です. This is terrible. 車掌さん、これはどういうことなの? So Mr. Conductor, as for this, what does it mean? How is the event? What does it mean? How do? All right, it's still going. Engine cars, just people leaving. いくらなんでも、こんなことは考えられません。機関車だけがいなくなるなんて。Okay. いくらなんでも. Which is somehow. Under no circumstances, or say what you like, as for this sort of a thing, it's unthinkable. Just the engine car. いなくなる. Yeah, just the engine car. Becoming nothing. How could that happen? 見捨てられたかな? Have we been like abandoned, I wonder?
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
見捨てる is to like abandon. Yeah, to abandon. To look and throw away. 行っちゃったよ. It went. Sons is the wait. Maybe this is still Tetsuro. 酸素体じゃなかったら大変なとこだった. So the oxygen belt, if it didn't exist, difficult place it would be. We'd be in a difficult spot if the oxygen belt didn't exist. Whoa, whoa. Apparently the engine car is just still going. All right, what do we got now? もう15時間も掘ったらかされたまま動かないよ. So already even 15 hours 掘ったら being left alone and かされた. Being inflicted maybe be inflicted at we are with not moving. I'm not quite sure what the kasareta, but as it is and not moving. I like the idea of being inflicted with not moving. Yake kuso desu. It is yake crappy. What is yake kuso? Desperation. Okay. It is desperation. Sake demo nomimashou. Let's at least drink some sake. Okay. Oh, right. Here we go. This is the end. This is we're back to having like it's still one chapter, but we get what looks like the end of the chapter. This is still the chapter, but this is where we'll pause. So what do we have here? The train sitting all alone, no engine car, and a final or a midpoint thought. Let me turn that brightness down so we can see better. 空間で最も消化しにくい食物は時間だと旅人は口を揃えている。Okay, so in space, the most digestion. The most difficult digestion food. As for the food most difficult to digest in space, it's time. As for travelers, kuchi o soroete. Okay. Soroete. Soroete iu. As for travelers, like that, what are we trying to say here? To gather and assemble to become a complete set. Yeah, that's normally soroete. Huh. Kuchi o soroete iu. Maybe this is like, as for travelers, like their mouths they come together. In other words, like they all say this, that time is the most difficult food to eat, to digest in space. Tetsuro wa ima sore o tabe saserarete iru. As for Tetsuro, right now, that thing is being made to eat. As for Tetsuro, he's being made now to eat that thing, meaning time. Okay, well, there we go. I guess this is part of the test, or this is the test. That is the halfway point for this chapter 3. The rebellion of the C-62, which I guess is the engine. We'll continue next time as I rebrighten this with the rest of the chapter, and we'll see what happens next time.